Let's do it. Let's do it. That's the brightest it'll go. All right, here we go. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's talk about positive thinking doesn't work. We're going to talk about the mental science behind it. Let's actually talk about this. Why does positive thinking not work? We're going to break a little bit of this down real quick, because that's really the question. Why does positive thinking not work? If you came to this chat before, if you've ever been in this live, which a lot of people have not, we're going to talk about why positive thinking does not work, but you may not know about it, okay? Positive thinking is based on the premise that if you think positively, then it's going to make you succeed. So you can have wishful thinking and believe, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. This is going to work, this is going to work. And then you think it's just going to work because you said it for a week or two. That's not exactly how it works. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is that I noticed recently is people have a delusional belief in facts, data, and science. They actually worship it like it's God. So if you think about science, I want you to think about science. Science is uncovering laws that already exist. Think about this. Scientists uncover laws that already exist. They're not creating anything new. They are discovering laws that already exist, which means before they discovered the laws that already exist, they didn't know what those laws were. So that means they were ignorant of laws that actually existed, but they didn't know about it and therefore couldn't factor it into their thinking process. Science is, let me look up how old science is. Let's actually look at as ChatGPT. How old science is. Let's do this. Okay, how old is science? How old is science? How y'all doing today, by the way?
Science, as a systematic way of understanding the natural world, dates back to ancient civilizations. The earliest forms of scientific thinking can be traced to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia around 4000 BCE, where people made observations about astronomy, medicine, and mathematics. However, what we recognize as modern science began with ancient Greece around the 6th century BCE, with philosophers like Thales, Pythagoras, and Aristotle, who sought natural explanations for phenomena instead of attributing them to the gods. The scientific method as we know it, based on observation, experimentation, and reasoning, was solidified during the scientific revolution in the 16th and 17th centuries, with figures like Galileo, Kepler, and Newton. So in its oldest form, science is about 6,000 years old, but modern science is about 400 to 500 years old.
That is such a good description. They described it perfectly. I did not know it was going to say that. I want you to understand something. Science, like she said, is about 400 years old in the way we're performing the sciences. We do not have the science of Egypt. How do we know? Can we recreate the pyramids? If we could, we would have buildings and structures and societies that equaled or rivaled Egypt. We don't even have anything close. Why? Because we don't know what they knew. So science in that form has been around for a very long time. But the way we're doing science, it's only been 300 years old. So think about it. The method that we're using to try to understand our world, especially in the West, because the West is over logical, is we're really worshiping science rather than realizing science is a tool to uncover the laws of the universe that already exist, but we don't know about. And we think and believe in what scientists say because they're scientists. We don't do our own research. We don't do our own scientific methods. We don't do our own thinking process as a collective. But the people on this live, you do. So what we're talking about today is why positive thinking really doesn't work. We're going to explain and break down the mental science behind it using this model understanding that came to me called the golden funnel. So here's what people don't understand and may not be talking about. In science, the science that we understand today, the science that's only 300 years old, it studies below the line. Now let's call below the line the physical. The physical effects. This is what science studies. It only studies physical effects. So what does that mean? So if you are having an issue, what science can do is say, here's the issue and here's what's happening in your physical body. Let's say you got let's say you got a disease or something that's happening in your body that's an infection or a disease. What science can say is this is what's happening in the body. The only causes that they can come up with are also physical causes. So the cause and effect is restricted to the physical. Cause and effect. I was online yesterday and we was talking about aspirins. I don't even know how I got so deep into the aspirin conversation, but literally, I look up aspirin and what it's made of. It is made up of chemicals that are corrosive to your body and digestive system. They literally can cause bleeding issues. Aspirins. You take too many aspirins and you're not going to take another aspirin. And I ain't even going to say why. You should be able to connect the dots on that. And aspirin, because it is unnatural, can do damage to the body, right? Okay. Cause and effect. I was in a conversation talking about aspirins and explained that the aspirin is doing something the body does not naturally do. When I say naturally do, or you're inducing the body to be with a chemical that causes the body to shut down and suppress in ways you don't want it to. The body does this processes naturally. But science is only studying cause and effect of the physical. Here's what mental science does. It takes this physical effects, which is just a cause and effect in the physical, and it takes it above the line. Now, above the line, let's draw a pyramid, we can say, at the highest pinnacle, it is the spiritual principles. Most people think this is woo-woo because why? A bunch of people who claim to be spiritual in the West are not spiritual. They claim to be experts because they put it in their bio. There is no formal process of recognizing real spiritual principle. And there's no process of testing and keeping spiritual people accountable. That is one of the things that we want to change, is we want to keep spiritual people accountable. If you claim that you have a spiritual principle, you need to be able to apply this so it gets results in real people's lives in a measurable way. If not, you need to be held accountable for what you're teaching. This is spiritual principle. Next level below spiritual principle is mental principle. The mental principles. Now, we have actually explored a lot of mental principles. We understand that thinking create reality. A lot of people have adopted that ideology, is that thinking create reality. Now, thinking alone without spirit does nothing. This is the source of power. This is an effect of that power. This does affect this. What we know is quantum mechanics. Has anybody heard of quantum mechanics? If you're in the chat and you heard of quantum mechanics, put a Q in the chat. Put a Q in the chat if you've not heard of quantum mechanics before. Anybody heard of quantum mechanics? Okay, there we go. What does quantum mechanics explain? The number one thing that quantum mechanics has uncovered is the fact that the human observation creates effects in the physical stuff. Meaning, the observer is the reason for the effects. The observer, your observation affects physical matter. What counts as quantifiable evidence for a spiritual person? What do you mean by that? That's a good point. So, to give an example, if I'm gonna give you an example about health, because the two things you can measure is money and health. I'm so happy you asked that question. So Abel, thank you for asking that, because we got to actually go into something tangible, right? What counts as quantifiable evidence for a spiritual person? It's the exact same things that qualifies quantifiable evidence for a scientific person. It's exactly the same. You have to have something you can measure. So the two areas that we can measure are, let's just erase this and talk about it. The two areas that we actually can create measurements in are money and health. These two have numerical association. They have numbers associated with it. Money, you have a dollar amount. Health, you have health metrics. Does that make sense? So what it means is, this is, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. The placebo experiment. What the placebo experiments show is that the sugar pill, the physical pill people are taking in order to heal their bodies is in fact not what heals the body. How do we know that for sure? 100%. We know that 100% because if a sugar pill produces, because it doesn't, the exact same effects as the medicine, what's the cause and what's the effect? Okay, so let's draw the pyramid. What's the cause and effect of a placebo? Now, this is how you prove things spiritually. Okay, if you apply only a spiritual effect or a spiritual cause, let's say it's prayer, which involves the spirit and it also involves the mind. If all you do is apply a spiritual principle, a spiritual mental principle, and it causes a physical effect, because a sugar pill, we know a sugar pill does not fix anything. It's a placebo. Can we all agree with that? Can we all agree with that? That a sugar pill in the health world doesn't cure anything, doesn't solve any problem. It does nothing. Can we agree with that? Okay, we can agree with that. So the question becomes, what's actually doing the healing? Okay, maybe we debate. You can debate it. But just make sure it's scientific, right? Because if you say a sugar pill, we're talking about specifically a sugar pill. As long as it's within this example, I'm willing to debate anything. Because we want to get to the truth. I'm not trying to just know everything. I want to just I'm pointing out a point. That physical pill, when it's digested, we know that when it's a placebo, it's a saline solution, it's a sugar pill, it does nothing. Okay? Now, what that means is there is a cause that is unknown to the physical world. It's a cause that is unknown to the physical world. We have to go above the line and go into the mental spiritual world in order to see what the cause is of a physical healing. If the placebo actually fixes the problem. The truth is, the placebo is not fixing the problem. The person's mind went into a state of belief. That they were going to be healed after they took the placebo. Then the action happened of taking the placebo, but that placebo is mixed with something that is invisible. It's mixed with the mind and spirit. Those two factors go into an empty thing and create a result. Okay, now as you said, we are energetically linked to our atomic structure, which includes chemical, physical world. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's linked. So that's absolutely true. Your spiritual mental world is linked to the physical. The question is, what is the cause and what is the effect? Science would claim, a lot of science claims, that there are physical causes for physical effects. There is never a physical cause for a physical effect in an absolute way. Now there's a chain reaction. There's first order consequences, second order consequences, third order consequences, meaning if I eat a certain way, that's going to cause a consequence in the body. The consequence in the body is going to create secondary, tertiary consequences that may end up in what we call disease or whatever we may say. But where did it begin? It all begins here. Okay? God wants to know your vibe. Watch your life. That's all. It's God finding you through your own shift. Okay, now you're talking about God, right? You got to quantify this. Quantify it. Okay? Quantify it for me. So what I'm asking you to do is, I'm asking you to take your spiritual ideology, which is what? Tell me what your claim is. And whatever your claim is, show me the test. And if you've tested it and produced physical results, then we got to analyze what were the real causes and what were the real effects. What's the variables involved? You know, the one variable quantum mechanics always accounts for that they found absolutely affects the experiment is the observer. So that's what we do know. We do know that that observer affects physical stuff. You can't X yourself out of the equation. The only thing you know is you. The scientists. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's ask ChatGPT. So we say property. That's why I'm trying to talk, because I've been on this since I was 3. Okay? Many people have been on it since it's 3. That's not a unique thing. Got a 86 on my ASVAB. That's also irrelevant. That's just a mental test. People with the highest IQs have been proven to do exactly the same level of success as people with just average or college IQs. So IQ and testing of the intellect is irrelevant. It does not dictate or even determine what causes a person to be successful or happy in life. So, and that's been proven. So those tests are valid for what they're valid for, but we're talking about how to improve life and create better circumstances. It's irrelevant to that cause. Right? Exactly. Testing phase currently underway for me. Okay, so what you tested? Tell me what you tested. Tell me what you tested. Actually, let's do this. I want to ask this question. I didn't even study. My brain was wired. Okay, I got you. See, that's because mine too. Mine was wired for different things. Everybody's brain is wired for different things. So let's talk about this, okay? Let's restart it. My non-financial resources. This is very good. This is very good. Let's talk about finances. So we claiming that there's spiritual laws and mental laws that create physical stuff. Okay? Can you know the placebo is a placebo? Would it still heal you? Can you know the placebo is a placebo and would it still heal you? That's a very good question. I actually asked that question before. I thought about that. I don't know the answer to that. Because if I believe in a placebo, what am I really saying? I'm saying I believe in my own mind. Okay? I believe my own mind if I'm saying I believe a placebo. So if I believe in my own thoughts, and I truly believe in my own thoughts, and I know thoughts create reality, maybe by the fact that it's been experiments run that do it, or I've done it so many times that I just know it worked that way, which is mine. I just know that it works that way. But science usually helps people to understand a little bit better. But if I know that it works and I just start thinking a different way and I understand how to use my mind, then it is going to cause an effect in my reality. Because First of all, whether we believe it or not, the mind does affect physical reality. So this is where we get into, you don't even need to believe things. There's certain things in life that you need to believe, and that may be Christianity or Islam or this ideology or philosophy, stoicism, scientism, whatever you want to believe. There are certain things that you can believe in, and that they make a difference. There are other things that is irrelevant if you believe them or not. Those are the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe don't change for us. The laws of the
Christianity or Islam or this ideology.
The laws of the universe don't change. Okay, laws of the universe don't change. So we use those laws to create things or to create circumstances in our life, but we really need to understand the laws. So science is very good at explaining the physical laws, but is not very good at explaining the spiritual laws. You're going to have to go to another source for that. The best thing I've found for that, for spiritual law, is the Kabbalah. The Kabbalistic teachings, which is not restricted or limited to Jews. It is an ancient wisdom system. Okay, it's an ancient wisdom system. What are those laws? Such a good question. Let's talk about the laws. What are the laws that you don't have to believe in them? They are true. Let's go through them one by one. Laws of the universe. Now, if you look on YouTube, you're going to find a bunch of AI videos, AI generated videos of somebody who clicked in, what are the laws of the universe? And it's going to explain to you 50 laws, 30 laws, this law, that law. You actually have to think for yourself, because AI is not capable of thinking at the level you are. Regardless of what they tell you, you have the capability of tapping into absolute truth. Laws or rules, either way, really is laws. Laws are different than rules. Once you know the laws, you can create a set of rules that allow you to apply those laws. That's a good question. That's a good question. Okay, so let's go through them. And if y'all got questions along the way, babe, can you let me know if they got questions and I'm missing them? Because I want y'all to understand these. The very first law, it's really 8 laws, okay? First law is the law of gestation. The law of gestation, another word for it is the law of care. The law of care says this: nothing happens until something or someone cares enough to make an action. That's gestation. Literally, nothing happens until a human being cares enough. Or the spirit or consciousness cares enough to take the action. It's like a point of, it's a threshold of action. So once care crosses a certain threshold of action, it could be here. Let's say this is the threshold and you got to ramp it up. If it's here, no action. If it's here, no action. If it's 99% of the way, still no action. As soon as it crosses the threshold, action in the universe, it becomes a cause and it produces physical effects. That's the law of gestation. It has to gestate. To give an example in nature of this, when you put a seed into the ground, it activates the law of gestation. Then the seed dies, becomes roots, becomes a trunk, becomes branches, becomes leaves, becomes the flower, becomes the fruit, it falls down and becomes a harvest. Okay? The law of gestation is first. Without the gestation of a seed, there could be no fruits. Everybody agree with that? This is true everywhere in the universe, especially in human consciousness. Okay? Thank you for that. Inductive reason and deductive reason. We're using our own thought process to seek answers. Not just accepted facts, but we're thinking with those facts and we're reasoning forward and beyond where it's ever been before. Good point. Good point. Okay, so does that make sense? That's the law of gestation. You cannot bypass this. So to give you an example, a practical example, have you ever met a person who's in a relationship that they say they shouldn't be in. They know they shouldn't be in, and they need to get out of. To the point where it's dangerous for them and their family to stay in a situation, or worse. But they do not leave. Or they make excuses for the person, or make reasons to stay. Has anybody ever experienced that themselves? You would know what kind of torment that you have in your mind when you're stuck in an addictive loop. Has anybody ever experienced that? Or knows somebody with that kind of experience? We got a couple yeses. Okay. What that is, this person has not achieved the level of gestation. They have not activated the law of care. They do not care enough about something to make a move out of that situation. And they will never get out of the situation until they care enough to do so. This is how the law of gestation shows up in the human mind, in the human life. Okay? How many of y'all want to start a business and want to succeed in business? How many people want to start a business and succeed in business? Put yes in the chat if you want to start a business or you want to succeed in business in some type of way. Okay? Yes, we got yes, 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 yes. Now, have you had trouble starting? Have you had trouble starting? Have you had trouble starting? How many people already started, just want to know how to use astrology? Okay, you could do that. That's all laws of the universe. Okay, check this out. All it is, you haven't reached the point that you care more about the dream than you do about something else that's holding you back. You have conflicting desires. And the conflicting desire, you care more about it than you care about success. At this particular moment. It won't always stay like that. We'll learn about other laws. But this is how it shows up in your business. This is why you won't start. Okay? This is why you won't start. Babe, can you mute dude?
Which one?
One, he just being disruptive. Oh, give him another chance. Actually, never mind. Okay.
Oh, I undid that. I don't know if that.
Just let him stay a little bit longer. If you keep disrupting, just mute him. Okay, so gestation. Gestation. That's the law of gestation. Anybody got any questions about that? Y'all understand this? This is undeniable in nature. We saw it from the seed. It's undeniable in the universe. Okay, it's undeniable in the human world. Nothing starts until you care enough to do something. All right. Amen. Thank you for being here. That's the first law. Law number 2 is called the law of mentalism. It's the law of mentalism. Here's what the law of mentalism shows us. It says all is mind.
Somebody said, how do you force gestation?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. How do you force gestation? Here's how you do it. 2 ways. 2 ways. You can let the universe make you so uncomfortable that you have to lose valuable things, people in your life to make a new decision. You can let life get so bad, within or without, but mainly within, that you have to make a decision. I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend doing that. It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. But the unfortunate thing is 90+% of people in the world wait until it's so bad that they can't help but change. It's the worst. It's the worst. But it will make you gestate. It will get you active.
Somebody asked, where can I find your training? I replied, but I think other people might want to.
All right, let me finish this first.
Okay.
So that's one way. Second way is you can expose yourself to people, circumstances, situations, and places that go beyond what you know. You can actively seek out the unknown rather than waiting for the universe to give you trauma. Here's what happened. When you expose yourself to people who have a higher consciousness than you, more peace than you, more love in their lives than you, more money than you, bigger businesses than you, happier families than you, better bodies than you, it hurts your ego. But that's way easier than letting life give you trauma to move. Please don't wait for life to give you trauma. You don't have to. But the second thing is you can willingly and on purpose hurt your ego. Expose yourself to people who are doing 10 times better than you and just be around them. Go to ceremonies like the Grammys if you want Grammy or award ceremonies where people getting recognized and you're not getting recognized, and see if you can celebrate them. If you're not able to celebrate people who are doing better than you, it's a sure sign that your ego is active. It's good. Expose yourself to that until you decide to be successful. It's going to happen within you. That's the 2 ways that you can accelerate gestation. Expose yourself to better people. Does that make sense? Hopefully that made sense. That's a real good question. But this is a law. Does it matter what I think or what you think about this? No, just watch life. You'll see it. The people who care are doing stuff. The people who don't care enough yet are not. They care, just not enough. Care is on a spectrum. I absolutely got old, so I was born old. Absolutely. That's number 1. All right, number 2. It's called the law of mentalism. It says all is mind. Everything is mind. It's literally made of the mind. You are a soul. But everything is made of mind. This is one of the most important laws. Here's how this shows up in nature, okay? The consciousness of a dog is expressed in the physical as its body, its organs. When a dog mates with another dog, that is really the dog's consciousness made physical, turning into another dog. The dog is made of the dog's mind, the consciousness of the dog. Human beings, we have bodies that are manifested as a result of our souls, and we have reproductive organs, and it's the exact same way. When we mate, we make children. They're made of consciousness. But the consciousness manifests physically. We'll learn that in the cause and effect, but everything is mind. Okay? How do I know all of it? It's from pain. I'm just going to be real. I had so much pain of not understanding and not knowing, and it caused the gestation of, I need to know this. I'm not asking, I need it. It just became an obsession because I needed to know. I wanted to free myself from feeling bad. I felt bad all the time. I'm sitting in my grandma's house, 18 years old, and I'm asking my grandma who don't have no money for $20 because I'm broke. I hate this. I need to figure this out. That made me go deeper and ask for answers, which came to me through books, through spiritual insights, through flashes of intelligence that I had no idea where they came from. And I followed that because I needed it. That's what led to the gestation. But you know what? You know what's even more beautiful about that? The only reason that happened to me is because the light wanted to manifest as knowledge, as wisdom and intelligence. So it created me with the lack of it so that I could ask. And that asking created a vessel that allowed the light to come in and show itself as wisdom. That's the only reason I'm standing in front of you, is because the divine wanted to manifest wisdom and knowledge. So it gave me the pain of ignorance. See, when a divine wants to manifest something, it creates a vessel with the lack of it so that that vessel asks for it. It gets it to the point of gestation. If you're broke, guess what the light is trying to manifest? Wealth. If you feel the pain of being broke, I just got the chills. If you feel the pain of being broke, the divine light is trying to manifest wealth. That's why you feel the pain of brokenness. If you are lonely, you have no companionship, your heart is broken, the divine wants to manifest love in your life. Companionship, real companionship in your life. If you had parents who argue constantly 100% of the damn day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, hated each other, it caused the desire for the exact opposite in you. Because why? The light wants to manifest love, but it has to create a vessel that asks for it first. With its whole being. Not with its head, but with its entire being. It causes gestation. This is what the Creator created us as. And this is not my, look, try it. Look around. Look around. Look at yourself. Look at the people who had the greatest wealth. They had the greatest financial calamities. Look at the people who had the greatest love. They had the greatest absence of love. Look at the people who got the greatest wisdom. They had the deepest depth of ignorance. And it was painful. That's how it works, y'all. Y'all designed for the pain, to fill the gap of pain. Whatever pain you feel is indicative of what you have already. This is what I'm trying to get across to y'all. It's a miraculous universe. If you can recognize how the process works. It's mental. Okay, mentalism. All is mind. All is mind says literally everything is made of the mind. So when you think something is happening to you physically, look at what's happening in your mind and you'll understand why it's happening in your physical. By the way, the mental to physical race manifestation time gap, it has a gap. What you are receiving right now is a result of what you did 3 to 6 months ago consistently. Can it be safe to say gestation would be the want? Absolutely. But it's a particular degree of want that makes you do something. That's the difference. The spirit pours over into the physical action. That's the difference. Okay, that's the difference. Absolutely. I probably am talking about. Only reason you could be here is because your mind attracted. It's a vibrational attraction, which we'll learn about cause and effect. So, all is mind. This is all consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Expand your consciousness, expand your life. Go ahead and ask the question. Good questions, by the way. Good questions, by the way. 3 to 6 months ago. Yes. 3 to 6 months ago. Maybe a little bit less even, but 3 to 6 months ago, yes. But you've been consistently thinking and ruminating on. Now, it depends on the intensity of the feeling. If the feeling is intense, it can take weeks or days. Take weeks or days. It depends on the intensity and depth of feeling. Yeah, days. But not all, it's most likely not days unless you felt intense emotion. And if you felt intense emotion, that's an effect of what happened 3 to 6 months ago. It's all chain reaction. Let me just go to the next law, because this explains it. The next law that just is true is the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. It says every effect has a cause. Simple. Every effect has a cause. Now, I've noticed, and you'll notice if you pay attention, start paying attention to what you think now. Keep a journal. I got journals like this. We got journals like this. This is Leisha's journal. I got a whole bunch of different journals. But keep journals. What you'll notice is the consistent feeling you felt the things that you wrote down and felt, they start popping into your life almost unbeknownst to you. It's like, well, I remember thinking about this. Or you look in your notebook and go, I wrote exactly this down like a year ago. And it's here. What's happening is you're activating a cause and effect sequence in your life and you don't recognize it. You don't even recognize it. There's cause and effect to everything. If you look at the effect in somebody's life, I'm going to give an example for relationships. I've watched this because love has been my number one. That's where I had the greatest pain in my life, is in love. And then next was really purpose. Like that was love and purpose. I felt purposelessness. That's why I felt like I wanted to unalive. I can't believe I'm even saying that. We ain't supposed to say that in the black community. We ain't supposed to say that. But when it came down to it, I felt that. Love. What I noticed, there are certain causes that produce unbelievable relationships. And it's all in the mind. When I see people, and I'm going to give you an example. Somebody told me this and I didn't believe it. I didn't even want to believe it because I was like, I just didn't want to believe it. He said, a man who loves women, women love him. And vice versa. A woman who loves men, men love her. I ain't want to believe that because hold on. You telling me that I hate women? You telling me I dislike? Now, I had to go deep inside myself and start looking at my mommy issues. My issues with my mom. Once I looked at it, I'm like, he might actually be on to something. I think I might have a deep-seated hate and dislike here that I need to fix in myself. I need to learn how to actually appreciate women, just in general, without even a sexual component. I need to just learn how to appreciate. I can't try to make every woman like me. I can't try to make anybody like me. Women are different than I am. The feminine is different than the masculine. Let me learn how to appreciate that because I obviously don't. It's hard, the ego. I'm telling you, ego was going crazy. Was trying to say, nah, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true about you. Everybody else, but not you. That's what the ego was trying to tell me. It's all in the mind. I had some scars. I had traumatic scars in my mind, and it was logged in my body. I was rejecting women, even though I needed it. I was craving sex, craving connection. But love, I can't love you. I just want to connect and use you. Think about that. It's a lot of that going on today. What's happening is the effect is women hate men, men are hating women. What's the cause? The effect is men seem to be against women, women seem to be against men. It seems like they don't match, seem like they're falling apart. Why? The cause is because they don't love themselves and they don't love, and if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. You are letting past problems and past challenges with the whoever you hate affect you. It's in your mind, your deep subconscious mind, and it's affecting you. The cause is in the subconscious mind. The effect is in your conscious mind. Your conscious mind says things, believes things that cause physical effects, and that is the reason your relationship status is what it is. If it's complicated, it's because of that. If it's good, it's because of that. If it's unbelievable, it's because of that. If it's non-existent, it's because of that. This is the law of cause and effect. There are clear causes that produce clear effects. Let's talk about money. If you go to anybody who has unbelievable wealth, remember, they had a low point that was equivalent to their high point. The people who make billions of dollars have lost millions. The people who make millions of dollars have lost hundreds of thousands. The people who make hundreds of thousands have lost thousands. The people who make thousands have lost hundreds. The people who only make a couple hundred only lost a couple dollars. There's a cause and effect relationship. once you realize the cause, okay, every single person who has a lot of anything that's good has had a lot of the equivalent bad. So if I want that, I'm going to be going through that. Most likely. Let me just accept it. Do you want it back? Do you want it? You don't focus on the negatives. It's going to happen anyway. But it's not negative. If you know it's not negative, if you know, okay, that's about to change me. 3 things you got to remember. If anything bad is happening to you, this is what people don't understand about spiritual law. You can't scientifically plug this into ChatGPT and say, hey, is this true? ChatGPT won't know. Okay? Here's what you got to do. You have to know it's from God. It's from the divine. Any negative is from the divine. Really, first of all, it's not negative. Actually, first of all, it's from the divine. Second of all, it's not negative. It's actually good. You have to notice right away. Even if you don't feel it, you have to say, this is good. I know it is. I have no idea how it's good, but I've studied people. I know that everybody who has an unbelievable anything has an unbelievably negative same thing, and I'm going through a negative right now. What does that mean? That means I am literally paying for my equivalent positive. This is good. This is good. Yes, it's good. Thank you for this. Now you can say thank you. You realize the light is trying to come into your life and you pinched off. Third, it shows you what to change in your thinking. It shows you what to change. So a gestation moment happened. It's showing you what to change in your thinking. Once you change it and you say, no, this is not negative. That's a mental change. Remember, all is mind. And it's a cause and effect. The mind affects the physical reality. Once you realize it's a cause and effect, you say, oh, it's the opportunity. This is good. Now you're doing that because you have wisdom. It's not because you feel good. See, this is where people get it mixed up. They go, I just want to feel, it's about my feeling. No, it's not. Your feelings are lying to you because what your feelings are effect of is the mental. And your mental's messed up. Your mental has been trained that negative is negative. And we don't want that. And positive is positive. And we do want that. But the problem is the negative, what you call a negative, actually creates the positive. So your thinking is wrong. When you think that way, you will always have negatives that you call negatives. You never say, this is good. This is exactly what I've been asking for. This is from God. As a matter of fact, it's from God and it's the light trying to come in. This is good. And it's showing me what to change. And you say, what do I need to change about myself right now? What is it telling me to change? You see what I'm saying? What is it telling me to change? And then once you find what to change it. Once you change it, I don't know when. It may be days, longer to take to change, the better, because it's like compound interest. You're about to see some miracles, and you'll know where the miracles came from. See, one of the things is remember where the miracle came from, because once you receive the miracle, sometimes people forget. They get lost in the positive, like, oh, this is so great. Look at this beautiful thing that happened in my life. And they forget that it came from over here. If you remember it came from over there, when you're in a positive, you can say, I'm humble. Thank you. Give me more of the challenges. And you turn back to the challenges, because guess what? The positive is going to make you unteachable. This is why a lot of people, when they get the love of their lives, they stop growing. Because you just became unteachable. It's actually your demise. Too much positive. If you get positive, guess what's about to happen? Your teachability is low. You don't think you need to change anything. You're on your high horse. Your stuff don't stink. So you don't even care about the negative. It's like, that's behind me. And you start talking about other people who haven't made it to your level. Especially when you spiritually awaken. It's like, I'm spiritual now. These are the peasants. They are less. You just went lower than them. Right there at the height. It's the most dangerous place you can get. Here, the explanation. Guess when the easiest time to kill an alligator is? Y'all should know the answer. What's the easiest time to kill an alligator? Somebody tell me. He said when it's on land, that's actually true.
I'm like, when it's sleep, I don't know.
After it just ate.
Boy, it's full.
Yeah. While it's sleeping to be a good one, but it wake up and ate you.
Yeah, surprise that motherfucker.
When the alligator is full, it will not eat you. It's full. That's the issue. You get full of yourself. The second you get full of yourself, satisfied, that's when you're at the lowest point. Your teachability is 0. You're going down. You better be aware. Alarms. When people praising you and saying you're so amazing, alarms you should be scared. Like, oh, damn. I need to go. You should be panicking at that point. That is when your teachability is the lowest. It's just how it works. It's a cause and effect relationship. So what we're talking about actually is called, it's the fourth law. It's the law of polarity. That's what we're actually talking about right now. Polarity says every good has a bad and every bad has an equivalent good. That's what polarity says. Absolutely, you're going to see me on a regular basis. Polarity says everything that's correct is equally incorrect. Everything that's incorrect is equally correct. Everything that's unbelievably good is unbelievably bad, if you ain't paying attention. And if it's something that's unbelievably bad, it's unbelievably good. That's the law. It's always there. It's available for anybody. Now, if you don't know the law, you don't look for it. Dude, can y'all see it? We only went through 4 of them. It's 4 more. It's 4 more. When I tell you, this is the stuff that changed my life. When I was low down, I said I need something that helps me guide my thinking. Because there was so many opposing opinions. And on the internet, I'm telling y'all gonna run into some crazy stuff on the internet, man. The internet is gonna tell you what they think. People just want to be heard. They just yapping. Okay? Yapping. Okay? Gestation. Let's do a review. We'll do a review. Nothing happens until you care enough. And if you're not doing, the care enough is symbolized by you doing something. So if you're not doing anything, it's because you don't care enough. I say that to people and they hate me sometimes when I say that to them because they're like, yes, I do care. I'm like, what you doing? I care. You're not going to tell me that I don't care. What are you doing about it? I care about all of the issues in the world. What are you doing? Are you doing something about it? They never answer the question. Just go ahead and say, you don't care. No, you don't. You like attention. You are, what do they call it, babe? Performative activism.
Oh, yeah. That was so good.
You're performing. You want attention. How do I know? Because you're not doing anything. It's a law. I'm not even I don't have to ask you. I know. Matter of fact, the people who ain't saying nothing and are doing action, that's the person you want to talk to. How do you think? They probably won't even tell you unless you actually want to know. You ask them, you go, well, how do you think? They checking to see if you actually want to know first. They're like, why you ask? They'll start interrogating you. Why you ask that? Do you really want to know? What make you want to know this? That's what they'll start asking. Because they want to see if you really want to know. Look, gestation, you have to care. Number 2, all is mind. There's 2 sections to the mind. You have a subconscious and a conscious mind. One you think with, one is controlling your doing. You can submit anything to the subconscious mind you want, it'll take action on your life. That's the cause and effect. The cause is you. what you do, what you think. The effect is the subconscious mind turns it into physical realities. This is cause and effect. Every cause has an effect. If you ask for something beautiful in your life, polarity says you're about to get something super negative. Get excited when it happens because it's not negative. You go know now, after you listen to this live, you now know, nope, this is God. This is the divine. This is the light. This is spirit. Whatever word you give this divine essence, because it is here. This is infinite intelligence. Number two, it's good. It's good. The light is trying to force itself in. I'm pinched off. It's showing me what to change. And you ask the question, what is it trying to get me to change? It's trying to make me less reactive. It's trying to make me less angry. It's trying to make me appreciate more. What's up, Irma? Hey. Is this why all I want is to declutter my house, but the harder I try, the more stuff ends up in my way? Look, really what's happening is you realizing how much stuff already was there. You realizing your habits. Look, I'm junky too, bro. Everything be everywhere. Alicia told me something hurt my feelings. And I was like, what's the thing that I'm worst at? She was like, babe, you're very bad at cleaning. I'm like, I know. That means my mind is cluttered. I got too much junk in my head. I'm distracted. I know. I don't want to hear that. Why did I ask it if I didn't want to hear it? Because I need to hear stuff I don't want to hear. Like, that's why. Because if I'm on my high, if I'm perfect, man, I'm in a bad place. Polarity says that. So that's the idea of polarity.
What's a good question?
What does it mean when a thing seems good, but it turns bad? Very good question. It's a very good question. Anything that turns bad, based on the law of polarity, is because it's trying to give you something good. So that's first. Remember, it's from God. It's good. And it's showing you what to change. So something that starts off good, quote unquote good, really you're saying it went how I expected it to. It's giving me pleasure. And then when you say it turns bad, what you're saying is this is not what I expected, and I don't like the feeling it gives me. It's not making me feel good. Well, if it's not making you feel good, first of all, it's from God and it's showing you what light is trying to come in here and show you something. You ask yourself, why is this coming into my life? So I would need more specifics on exactly what was good and went bad, which I can't do on here because you have to type too much. But what's good and turned bad, it's not bad. You have to remember that. You got to remember that. So if you remember that, then you can find out, you ask the question, why is this here in my life? What is it telling me? What intelligence is this giving me about myself to change? And then you'll know. It'll come to you too. If you really want to know, it'll come to you. If you don't want to know, you'll just ignore it and go to the next problem, which is what I did in my relationship. See, my relationships, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. What I was doing was, I'm like, this girl was the worst. I'm leaving her. I'm going to somebody else. I go to this other girl. It started off unbelievable. I soon find out it's the same girl in a different body. I'm like, what just happened? How did you just turn into the same girl I just left? I'm leaving you too. Okay, I'll leave her. I go to this third one. I'm like, it's you. You the one. She come into my life. It's unbelievable. 3 months later. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. I mean, this has to be me. At some point, you got to be like, this is not y'all. Okay, thank y'all. Some kind of a spirit is going into each person. The only consistent variable here, consistent factor is me. It's 3 different girls. It's the same person. What is happening? Now I know it's me. It was showing me what to change in me. Because it can't be 3 different girls that's the same person. Right? It can't be the same person 3 times. It's me. So then I change, and now I get a completely new girl. Did I? No. It was a completely new me. That's the difference. Anybody got any questions on this? It's 4 more. I'm not going to go through them today. If you want the full version, I'll put it on YouTube. You want to get in the group, I'm telling you. Get a part of the mastermind. That's where I teach. That's where I drop gems. Yeah. But anybody got any questions before I get off here? Because it's the time to ask questions. You're going to find a lot of advice on the internet about what people believe. If you notice, these are not belief systems. It don't matter if I know these or not. It's irrelevant. These things are true regardless. I don't even if I deeply desire them to not be true, I'm still applying mentalism. My subconscious mind is going to just keep giving me, what do you need to change in yourself? If I want that, it's just going to keep making me come back to the reality. I didn't create this. This was here way before I came here. I was interested and I've been obsessed my whole life because of pain in my young childhood. What's actually true? And that is a dangerous road to go down because you can get stuck on this is what I know this is truth and I'm going to tell people the truth. I don't care what they think. Well, once you realize law of polarity, you realize how stupid that sounds. Like, I'm going to tell you the truth. If I don't realize that this is equally untrue, I'm in my ego. I'm only seeing half the story and the effect is going to be detrimental. All it's going to do is show me what to change again. If in a bad relationship / situation, how to discern to stay and grow versus leave. That's a good point. Anytime that I was in a negative situation in my relationship, what I would do is I would change while with the person, not leave the person and then try to change. Now, the only caveat is if you're in a dangerous situation where it's violent. But what I would do was I would be in a relationship, and I did this multiple times because I understood these laws. I said, if I change right now, then I'm gonna become a mismatch to this person, and they're either gonna leave or I'm gonna leave, and another person is gonna come in, and that's all I ever did. Because you don't want to leave the situation reactively. So if you're in a bad relationship, don't leave the relationship reactively. Stay in the pain of that relationship because it makes you realize what you are. And you're going to dislike it so much that you say, I'm never being this. If this is how I am, I'm changing. I'm telling you. Just message me up here. Should be a link in the Telegram. Put that Telegram link in a browser. It'll take you to the group. For the mastermind. But that's a good question. I hope everybody got that. Stay in that relationship unless it's violent. Stay in a relationship and look at that person that you claim you dislike so much or that's a bad situation and go, if this is a mirror to what I am, which I know it is, look at those qualities that you hate so much and decide to change those right now. And you change it and wait for the situation to change on its own. You don't make it change. You wait for the situation. You just change yourself. And you know by laws of the universe that the effect has to be this person is going to leave or I'm going to automatically leave somehow. And it's going to turn into exactly what I am. That's what I've done my whole life. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're married, okay? Even if you're married, if you're at a point in your marriage or your relationship, your committed relationship where you do not like the relationship anymore, it's because you need to change is what it is. So look at it's usually some complaint about the other person. That's usually what it is. Usually a complaint, you no longer attract, whatever it is, you complaining. When you look at that other person or you look at the issue, realize that that is literally you. Change that in you. Change it in you, and then the circumstance changes. They end up changing. It's crazy. Like, I know Leisha do this to me. She probably can't. Ain't nobody gonna change me. I'm so hard-headed. She probably, I know, praying, just seeing me differently, seeing the best qualities of me. She done that from the beginning of our relationship. I done changed so much because Leisha just see me differently than I'm acting until I change. And I keep changing. I want to serve her more and more every day. So that's the advice that I got for that. That was a good question. That's a very good question. Thank you for that. I'm gonna message you, Mike. Follow you. I'm gonna message you. Does your reply change when two are incompatible? Not that much. Yes, but not that much. When two people are incompatible, it just shows you what you are compatible with. Recognize that I'm incompatible with you, and they recognize I'm incompatible with you. Y'all both learn, and most likely you'll split amicably. You'll split harmoniously. Like, yeah, we realize this. This is great, and you go your separate ways. But if you realize you're incompatible, the question first is, why do I think I'm incompatible? What is it exactly? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I was incompatible with many people, but why? I had certain people I was incompatible with because I felt like a giver and I felt they were a taker. So what does that say about me? It means that I'm a taker still somehow. Why am I with this person? What am I here for? What am I getting? I must be taken. So that was the incompatibility. So anything that you feel incompatible with, ask yourself, why do I feel incompatible specifically? And then once you recognize you're incompatible, change that component in you, and it'll push that person away and attract the correct person, create the circumstances where you are in affinity with the right person because you changed. Okay, if it's not allowing you, I'll send you something. Just message me. I'll get you in there. It's probably need a different link. That's a good question, though. So incompatibility, you might find out that you're incompatible. By the way, what makes a person incompatible is a lot of times y'all just got differences in needs. Your needs list is different. So there are ego needs, and we learned this in the Golden Funnel, and there are spirit needs, and they are this. The ego wants to be certain. It needs certainty. It always needs to be absolutely sure. It needs everything to be certain. The ego also needs variety or uncertainty. That's shorthand for drama. The ego needs drama. Loves it. That's what young people usually like. They're like, I don't like a healthy relationship. I want it to be toxic. The sex is better. What they're saying is, I need drama. Addicted to drama because the childhood was dramatic. Next is they want connection. But really what they're looking for is love, but they'll settle for connection. That's the sex component. Last thing is they want to be significant. I think it's a C right here, but I don't know. Significant. I want to be the most special. These are the needs of the ego. If the needs of the spirit are, you want to be contribution and growth. This is all from Anthony Robbins. I found this to be true. Contribution and growth. These are the two. Now, these are ranked in you, and these are ranked in the other. I'm going to give you an example. I have a high need for growth, for instance. My number one need is growth. I was with a lot of people who they did not have growth high on their list as the needs that they needed met in life. Did not work. Because as I'm growing and I'm focused on growth because I love it so much, not because I need you to grow necessarily, it's just I love this so much that this is my focus and it's all I'm talking about. It's all I'm doing. That's my regular action. That's what I'm doing. This person is not even caring about growth. Totally incompatible. This person is caring more about being significant than they care about contributing to other people and growing themselves. It's incompatible. So you can use frameworks like this to understand and kind of gauge, but realize every one of y'all have these. You have these needs. So they need to be met, but some are greater than the others. The worst two to have number 1 and 2, I'm just going to tell you, man. This is the majority of the world. Significance and certainty. First of all, certainty. Certainty is an illusion. It's an illusion, Okay, you will never physically be certain about it. You cannot be physically certain about anything. Only place certainty comes from is from within. You have to have certainty beyond logic. When certainty comes usually because of some science or logic, people want to be so logical. Significance is horrible because you literally prioritize you getting attention over everything else. I'm talking about damages relationships. It makes you addicted to other people's opinions and criticism of other people. You're their slave if you have a need for significance and to be significant to everybody. It's a deep insecurity. That's these two. Most people have those two as their number one and number two. And look at the relationships. That's why the divorce rates are high. That's why relationships don't work. Not because of any other reason other than y'all have needs that are of your ego that you're prioritizing. So ego and spirit needs. When people have spirit needs, you got the need first. The only other one that I would say can transfer is the love. The love can transfer down here because actually having a spouse is the only way to achieve your highest spiritual calling in life. You need a soulmate. Eventually you'll come to that point where you can't see all of your dirt unless you get a soulmate that reflects it back to you in love. And you love them so much that you have to grow. Okay? That's the only one that I could say would transfer. The rest of them are just plain ego. Just ego. Okay. I'm about to hop off here and get to work. I got some readings to do. I got some text to send out. So, by the way, if y'all want to read, y'all can get a reading from me. I really break down your soul structure. You got a physical DNA. You also have a spiritual DNA. Understanding your spiritual DNA helps you to navigate life a lot easier without wondering why you are how you are and second guessing yourself. Don't waste a lot of time. It saves you a lot of time. And time, what is your time worth? Talking readings, these types of readings with the DNA, literally it can save you years and years of time. When you get older, the more important it gets. Absolutely. Anybody got any other questions before I jump off?
Yeah, Garrett asked one.
Garrett, where you at?
Scroll up just a little bit.
Mine's completely opposite of me and stays on the other side of the house. What does that mean? You might be afraid of real connection. You might be scared to actually expose yourself and really be connected and go for what you want and expose the raw emotion. That might be the case. I don't know. I would have to ask more questions. Nita, go ahead and message me. I just followed you. But that may be the case. A lot of times when you settle for just a roommate, you usually scared of intense emotion. You are prioritizing certainty over what you truly want, everything that belongs to you. You deserve the deepest level of satisfaction and soul expression in every area of life. And that's what you're made for. So if it's on the other side of the house, you're not demanding passion in your life. And you can't talk to the other one about it and say, give me passion. You can't say that. You have to demand it from yourself. You have to say, I want this. I want the max. Do not ask anybody else to give it to you. Just say, this is what I want. And the divine is going to stream into your consciousness, into your heart, and into your body exactly whatever is required to make that happen. And you might break up, or you might fight, and you might go to a counselor after that, and it might unlock some stuff that make you mad and pissed off, but it's at least going to shake up the emotion. It's going to get you active. But that may happen. I don't know what's going to happen. It's totally irrelevant. Demand it is what you got to do. First time ever hearing this type of knowledge, that's a very good thing. That means you're on the right track. I'm happy that you're hearing this because I realize it's important to talk about this because it's so rare to find this on the internet. You're probably not going to find this on the internet. And if you do, it's in a very surface level where people haven't practiced it. So that's that. I'm happy you're here. I'm going to follow you. Come on back. Garrett, that's a good question. I'm happy you asked that. It was hard to do. Most people would never ask that question or be willing and open for the answer. The only reason I'm giving you the answer is because I really can feel that you really want the answer to that. And I appreciate your honesty, your openness. All right, I'm about to do a couple readings. I got to knock it out. Zoe, if you in the room, I got to do yours. I got a couple texts that I'm going to send out. Yeah, look for the videos. YouTube is going to have the longer form videos. Patreon is going to have the master classes. I'm actually working on master classes right now. So let me know what y'all want. These classes are designed to give you access to your inner technology. You do not need a guru. You do not need a generic coach who tells you cliche advice that everybody else is getting. You need to access deeper parts of yourself. That's what you need. That is the only thing you need. And when you access deeper parts of yourself, everything works out and you are above and beyond logic. You got to get away from this logic. Okay? You got to get away from this logic. Logic is the death of you. Your Lord just messaged me. The logic is the death of you. Stay in your head, you're dead. That's what I like Anthony Robbins said. We're going to be going over this on a regular basis because you got to get this in your DNA. You got to get this in your DNA. You got to get it in your DNA. I agree. Logic is critical, but the right logic is critical. Right logic. Right logic means spiritual logic, meaning laws. You have to learn how to think with laws, not with what you believe. If you start thinking with what you believe, you're going to create laws for yourself that don't even exist, but now they exist for you. And you're going to be trapped and constricted. This is what happened to y'all already. Y'all trapped and constricted by all the laws you put on yourself. What are the laws you put on yourself is, I got to know how. I need to know how. I need to know how. I need to know all of this stuff in order to do. And I need to know how, and then I can do it. That's a law you put on your mind. That's actually a lie. And it'll never get you where you want to go because you can't know. You literally have to jump in the unknown. The unknown is where all the magic happens. Okay? Yeah, look into the subconscious. Even if you're not spiritual or religious, look into the subconscious. It's the same thing. The subconscious mind is a mystery. Try to understand it completely. All it is how does it give you back what you put into it? Like, how does that work? How does it turn into physical stuff? How come when I think something consistently and feel it, that it turns into physical stuff? Where did that come from? Regardless of what you call it, it's a total mystery. Quantum physics is probably it's the science of the future. It's the science that's going to help us transition from just the scientism point of view, where it's rigid logic that can't account for the human observer as a cause to the experiment. They don't like to say that. They don't like to say, okay, I'm the cause of everything. Scientists don't like to say that. Even though quantum physics shows you that you're affecting physical matter with your observation, and that you can't observe, you have to participate, and you're an eternal participant in a universal cause. They don't like that because then I'm responsible for everything. Yes. They don't like that. Okay? A non-spiritual business venture. That's interesting. Probably not going to take on no extra stuff right now because I'm focused on my education business, which is what I'm doing right now with y'all. But I can take a look at it and help you make decisions on it for yourself if you want that. I can do that for you. But I'm not going to come off my block on this. This is my purpose and my calling, and I got to help those people, including you. Business is probably one of my favorite topics in the world because it's all spiritual. When you start a business, the chokehold of your business is your spirit. Your spirit and consciousness. It's the chokehold. Until you expand it and unlock it, your business is going to stagnate. It's going to stay on one size. That happens with everybody. Business people are some of the most spiritual people I've ever met. 40 plus years, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's a while. All right, any other questions before I get off? I'm going to answer all the questions. I'm going to keep answering until you run out of questions. Hey, you can say that's your experience. Because guess what you think? You only notice, your reticular activating system only notice what you can see. You don't know if they're spiritual or not because all you can see is the secular. You have no idea. You probably can't even sense if they're spiritual or not because your realm of attention is locked in what you think. Mentalism. It's all mentalism. Tips on living alongside of our ego. Ego is the desire for less than you can have. It's funny because you would think that the ego is I want everything. It's not. The ego says stuff like, if I only had money. If I only had, oh, you missed the whole thing. I wish you was here earlier. But I'll put these on YouTube. But literally, your ego says, if I only had my man, if I only had millions, if I only had my health, if only my kids were safe, I'll be okay. The ego settles for less and it shrinks your thinking even though you're an unlimited being. That's the issue with the ego. So when you are constricting your real self, light is trying to force itself in, you pinching yourself off, so it causes problems and reactiveness in your emotional state, and it causes you to restrict yourself and limit yourself. So you actually have to desire everything that belongs to you and reject the little stuff. So little stuff is anything that you reactively grab at to get energy. That's the ego. So whenever you find yourself grabbing that energy, small energy, complaining, whining, making, I was just doing this yesterday. For the last 2 days, I've been on a complaint streak. I've been just judging everybody. I'm like, damn, like light is trying to come in because I've been just judging everybody, just judging. And it drained my energy. It gave me energy for a second, but then it drained me. So I know my ego active. That means a lot of light is trying to come in. That's what that means. Okay? So that's how you work with your ego. In my experience. That's in my experience. You said, if we create our own reality, how does that work for children's realities? That's a deeper question that I really just found more nuanced answers to. Children come to Earth. In the first 3 years, it's really the parent. It's there for the parent. Children don't come into their conscious choices until I think the girl is age 12 and the boy is age 13 in Kabbalistic teachings. So at age 13 and 12, that's when they start their choosing process. So you'll see a lot of changes in kids when they're 13 and they're 12. That's when they get to take control of their own tikkun or karma. And they get to start working through that. Because we all come to Earth really to clear out the karma or clear out the dark spots and liberate our soul to let in light. But so that's why we have to go through challenges. My favorite triangle is a pyramid. Do you teach how to use astrology to manifest our business? I do. That's probably my favorite thing to do, to be honest. It's probably my favorite thing because I love business. Business is a measurable thing. You can't lie about business. That's why I like it. I like health and business because you can't lie. So whenever I help a person in their business actually produce results. And I love that because it's no denying it. It's no denying it. I can help my friend go from losing $3,000 in 6 months to making $15,000 a week, to losing $3,000 a week to, because he was going through a divorce and all kind of stuff, to $15,000 direct deposits a week, and the expenses was low. So he was keeping like $5,000 to $9,000 of that a week. It's crazy, and I loved every second of it. I love it. So if you want that, it is my favorite thing to do. And I love helping business owners because they're serious about their life. Okay? Oh, yeah. So just message me up here. Like, I got a lot of readings to do today. I'm going to be doing that this morning. And the way it works is I send you an audio. I look at your chart. I send you an audio. It's usually between 20 and 30 minutes. But I break down whatever it is you have concerns with or you want to focus on. And I'll give you a map. It's like a playbook. The last one I printed out was 9 pages of just a playbook for that particular person's design. Spiritual DNA. Not some generic cliche advice of if your moon is in Taurus, do this. No. Specific to you as it relates to what you are wanting in your business to grow it, really grow it. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to change. So if you want to work with me, first of all, I'm expensive. Second of all, you're going to change. You're going to change. You're not going to be the same. You're not going to think the same. This is not I'm going to tell you what you want to hear so you can feel good about yourself. It's going to disrupt you. And you're going to change. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get results, but you're going to change. That's the deal with me. So, Vanessa, let me follow you. Just message me up here. I got you. It start with a reading, though. So it starts with a basic reading. That's where you want to start. After that, then we could talk about business after that. Because you first got to understand just the basics. Have a beautiful day. What do you think about karma happening to children? We just talked about that. I heard that growing up in church. Yeah. I just like you're on track spiritually. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. What do you feel about stelliums? Stelliums just mean it's a lot of activity. Any threes, life working threes. If it's a stellium in your chart, you focus your attention there. That's where a lot of your karma is. That's where a lot of your correction is. That's what that means. You came to Earth specifically for this shape, for this experience, in this house, in this area. That's where all your corrections are going to happen. And understanding how to, see, when you understand life, you understand astrology. Life helps you understand astrology. The spiritual laws and principles, when applied to astrology, just help you unlock the DNA code. Whew, 2 stelliums. 2 stelliums. I would love to see your chart. I'd love to see your chart. 2 stelliums. Yeah. 2. 1 is enough. You got 2. Man. Man. Yeah, I just joined a business and been putting off things. Yeah, it happens because it's not about the action. It's about unlocking your soul, Irma. Okay, you got to unlock your soul. The soul expansion make the business grow. That's what people don't understand a lot of times. If you starting a business, you asking for spiritual growth. That's what you're asking for. You don't know you're asking for that. But what you're really asking for is you want to come out of your blocks. If anytime you start a business and you really about it, not like I have an LLC. Like, no, you're just trying to show it off online. I'm talking about if you actually starting a business, you really are called to do it, you're asking to change. That's what you're asking for. Okay. Anybody got any other questions? I'm answering them till they go away. I'm answering them till it ain't no more. I'm answering till it's no more. Anybody got any other questions? These are good questions, by the way. Y'all are asking very good questions. I appreciate that. A lot of these probably gonna go on TikTok. Probably gonna go on TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I'm probably gonna turn it into some kind of put it in a program. Ha! There we go. Stellium, where you got 3 planets all in one spot. I started a business that was starting to get successful, but I did not feel fulfilled. Interesting. I will be interested to see what blocks you got there, because you might have counter intention. You might have started it for one reason. You got further into it, and some of your own things come up. That's usually what happens. My adopted son chart has house placements that fill in where mine stops and completely fill the chart. I would have to look at both charts. I would have to look at both charts to see how they overlap and what planets, what signs. There we go. If you want to uncover that block, you're gonna have to blast through that resistance. You're gonna have to unlock it. And this is gonna take you to. It's not gonna be easy. You have to literally just focus full forward. You're gonna know less than 1% of what's gonna happen, and you just need to be able to go forward. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing real well. My life feel good. I got the life force just like I just feel good. I feel best when I'm giving. It feels unbelievable to give. That's why I like doing reads and I like helping people with business. Only if people really asking for it. I don't help people who dabbling. I don't help dabblers. I'm not interested in helping dabblers. They don't fulfill me. And if you're dabbling, you're just really entitled. You're not really serious about it. I'm not giving you nothing. Because it wouldn't help you. Yeah, and that was me. So a lot of people start in business. I started in telecommunications. Telecommunications was good. It made money, but it wasn't what I wanted to do with my soul. I wasn't contributing to people's lives. That's why I started the business I got now. It's an education business. Vanessa, yeah, I'm excited. I started an education business. That's what kind of business I got. So I help people unlock their soul. It's called marketing for the soul. That's what I really teach. Because once you're on your purpose, understand this. I don't do advertising. I don't do marketing campaigns. Clients come to me. And I promise you, I don't even tell people what I do most of the time. And they ask me to coach them because their soul is asking me to coach them. Their conscious mind is not asking me to coach them. Their soul is asking to come out through the avenue of business. And it happens. And then they start attracting clients that resonate with their soul. They have no competition. When you are in your purpose, you have no competition. There's nobody who can compete with me because I'm in my soul calling. Nobody gonna do what I do. Nobody gonna think how I think, dig how I dig, care how I care, construct how I construct. No one's going to do it because I care so. Gestation. I care so much. It's crazy because my soul is called to do this. You understand? There's nothing that can compare to you with your soul cut out for it. When your soul is cut out for it, you can't do nothing else. Other people jumping into business to make a little money. I want to make a little extra money. How you going to compare to you who has got a soul calling to contribute to people's lives in a specific way that only you can because you got your particular life experience? Who going to compare to you? No one's going to compare to you when you activate your soul. But if you don't activate your soul, you are a commodity. I don't care how nice your marketing position is. You gonna find your purpose. I can help you, but you gonna find it. Absolutely. That's the whole deal. That's what the soul is trying to call you to. It's trying to activate your purpose. But your purpose is always a soul purpose, and it's always contribution beyond yourself. That's what makes you feel the best. And then you get everything. But when you get everything, it's irrelevant. You care about the impact. It just feels unbelievable. So yes. Now you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to do, it's opportunity cost. I give up this for that. Once you start making those sacrifices, you realize it wasn't a sacrifice. It was an investment, and the investment come back tenfold. Do I see mental health issues in people's chart? It's pretty easy. It's not mental health, it's just corrections, but yes. It's corrections, but yes. Usually it's not mental health issues. Usually it's just corrections that need to be made in the soul. That's it. Vanessa, see, you are on track. I could tell we are already connected. We connected before you got on here. Autism, I think I got low-level autism, but it's irrelevant when it comes to the soul. I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to your soul, when your soul activated, everything works in your favor. It's almost irrelevant. No matter what you got, it's almost irrelevant when your soul is activated. Because your soul is infinite intelligence that uses everything. Remember, it's from God, it's good, and it just show you what to change. And definitely you ain't supposed to change yourself. You're supposed to change your thinking, but you're not supposed to change you. You can't change you. You're the soul. You're perfect. You need to remove the things that are not you, which is reactive behavior and reactive emotional thinking. Simple. Good question. Very good question. Any other questions y'all got? Y'all got good questions today. That's what people begging for nowadays. Look, AI is going to take all the generic work. You need to activate your soul. When you activate your soul calling, things come to you. And by the way, that does not mean that you won't take action. You're going to love action that you take. It's going to be unbelievable. You're going to feel unbelievable to work all day. Because it's not work. You're in your calling, and people just gonna gravitate to you. They're gonna make you work with them. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna pull you in. What you're gonna have a problem with is denying all the opportunities. Literally, I'm telling you. Opportunities, people try to literally pull me into opportunities. I have to say no, like 3-4 times. I have to be very careful not to even act like I'm interested. Because if not, they're gonna think that I'm in. That's how it works. Your soul is going to call all the opportunities to you because people love a soul on fire. They can't help it. Somebody said, when you are on fire, the world comes just to watch you burn. They love watching you burn on fire. People love a person on fire on a purpose. They can't help it. It's something unignorable because that's what they're asking for in their lives. So when you are this, that's what they're looking for. It don't matter what you do. It's like, what? I don't even care what you do. What do I have to pay you? I'm working with you because that's what I want. They want the activation of their soul. That's what they're asking for. So it don't matter what industry you're in. If as long as you're doing that, it works. That's how it works. You get what I'm saying? At least you see it all the time. People literally be trying to drag me in the opportunity. Like, come on, we're going to do this. I'm like, and I'm personally, when I'm out, I'm just lazy. When I'm late, I'm like, okay. I can't do it, actually. When I think about it, I can't do this. No, I'm in a soul calling. I'm unemployable. God has employed me, and I can't be employed by anybody else. Therefore, I have to do my soul calling. Even if I did your damn business, it wouldn't work because I'm not called to it. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be helping people activate their soul in business, in their relationships, finding their purpose, actually activating the purpose because your purpose is already in you. It's activating the purpose and making it do its thing. Once your soul activated, it's like automatic. No thinking. No reason to think. What's the thinking for? What am I contemplating? I'm in action mode. I'm on full go. Everything's working for me. Even the things that's not working for you, I'm like, yes. I got stories for days. I can go on forever. But literally, the worst thing happened. I'm like, oh my God, good things happen to me all the time. This got to be good. Where do I see the future of Earth? Little opportunity mixed with a little challenge. Just like it has been the last million years. That's how it's always going to be. Little challenge mixed with a little opportunity. Now, that's a short answer. But I'm saying that for effect. I want you to understand, ain't nothing changing. The only thing that changed on Earth is us. Technology advances and just amplifies the same old stuff that we always been doing. Stuff seems like it's advancing. It's going in a circle. Nothing new under the sun. The only thing that's going to be new is you. Even if you was living in the 19s, not 1900s, the 19s, look, you would be excited and happy if you activated your soul. The way it works. Good questions, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Any other questions? Y'all got any questions? Look, when your soul is on fire, things work on their own. How it happens on its own. That's what I'm teaching y'all. Stop thinking about how it's irrelevant. If you get another coach or get on another YouTube video that says, I'm going to tell you the how to do the... Stop it right there. It's irrelevant. You need to be asking, how do I activate my damn soul? How do I activate this? I want to activate it. I want to feel unbelievable and incredible. I want this to just come out. How do I make that happen? Because when that happened, everything happened automatically. You meet the right people. The right people make you come to them. Literally, they snatch you up. Say, come here. You have something. I would like it. Like, well, what you want? They'll tell you. Like, I'm going to pay you this, and I want you to do that. That's what people start doing. I'm telling you. I'm not exaggerating either. This is literally what happens. This is why people who create marketing campaigns and invest millions, a person with a soul just attracted. Exactly, Herman. You already know. Look, I'm telling you. All right, I got to jump off here. How do others affect the journey? Others affect your journey by showing you really your mirror. They show you your mirror, but they don't affect the journey. You affect your journey. You're the only one who affects your journey. It's only you. So other people are not others. They're really you, manifesting as what you think. So it's aspects of your own mind, teachers from your own mind coming to you in the form of people to show you what you need to change. And that's it. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. And if y'all on the Telegram, like I said, I got to do a couple readings.